work, and just the love for life that I just desire, that I want back.
Across the country, we've been digging into how paramedics are using ketamine to sedate agitated people, many of whom are already in police custody. Medical professionals say this is an important tool to keep their patients and first responders safe. But our investigation uncovered cases in which people are questioning why it's even being used.
I miss everything. I miss him being a dad. I miss him coming home after work, and just the love for life that I just desire, that I want back.
Tabitha Britt may never make sense of what happened to her husband Jamie in 2019. He was her perfect match, and the father of their 9-year-old son, Landon.
You fall from side to side for me?
In 2019, Jamie Britt got drunk, blew out his tire blocks from his South Carolina home, and ended up in a struggle with police. He had been in a prone position for several minutes when paramedics arrived and injected him with a powerful sedative called ketamine.
What is this? It's a little medicine to make you just have a good time.
It's a drug paramedics use to calm a situation, to protect the patient and first responders, and to prevent someone's agitation from escalating into a more severe medical problem. But in Jamie Britt's case, things went terribly wrong.
It's for everybody's safety. Okay? Everybody's safety. All right, just relax, okay? No, you're not gonna die.
Eventually, Jamie stopped responding, and about 2 weeks later, he died. The coroner's office concluded Jamie's death was a homicide and listed 2 primary causes: restraint asphyxia and the toxic effects of ketamine. His autopsy also noted obesity, alcohol, and heart issues.
Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
The incident has some similarities to another controversial death in 2019. Scripps News obtained this body camera footage from Aurora, Colorado, showing police confronting 23-year-old Elijah McLean. Paramedics injected McLean with ketamine while police restrained him. McLean never regained consciousness. An amended autopsy blamed complications of ketamine administration following forcible restraint for his death. Adverse reactions like these to ketamine are rare, according to 2 recent scientific studies, and medical toxicologists say the drug has a good safety profile. It's considered so safe, a Scripps News survey found paramedics in 48 states are allowed to use the drug for patients with agitation or similar symptoms. But our investigation uncovered multiple incidents across the U.S. in which patients and families are questioning whether ketamine is being used appropriately. And now, paramedic Greg Carney is speaking for the first time on television to publicly question the use of this drug. Carney was the longtime Charleston County, South Carolina paramedic who injected Jamie Britt with ketamine before he died.
So the goal was to protect the patient and to protect the responders on scene and to help ease his state of combativeness.
At the time, EMS guidelines in Charleston County, where Carney worked, said that ketamine could be administered to a patient if the person was clearly a danger to themselves or others.
If you had a chance to speak to the widow or the sister, what would you want them to know?
I would want them to know that I am terribly sorry for their loss, and I mean that with all my heart. I'm looking for the deeper meaning in this and why this happened and what are we going to do to prevent it from happening again.
A Charleston County spokesperson wouldn't agree to an interview with Scripps News, but we learned there have been changes to ketamine protocols since Jamie Britt's death. New guidelines now say if the patient is safely restrained by law enforcement and there is no risk to patient safety, chemical sedation is not indicated. And just days after Scripps News started asking questions of South Carolina state health leaders about the use of ketamine, the state's medical director of emergency services sent this letter to every EMS agency across the state, imposing immediate changes in ketamine protocols and monitoring, and requiring 100% of ketamine cases be individually reviewed and submitted to the state. It has been nearly 4 years since Tabitha Britt lost her husband. She moved away from South Carolina to escape the pain, but hopes something good will eventually come from her husband's tragedy.
Anything that can happen in Jamie's name to save a life and make things safer, that needs to happen immediately.
Lori Jangliha, Scripps News, Charleston.